Hey, what's up? It's Jason. I'm back again with another video, and a very special one this time because I actually got a super nice VCLT from Brian, aka Embryonic Robot, here in Toronto. And we met up yesterday. We did a little bit of digging at Rotate This, one of my favorite shops in the town. I got a bit of records from Rotate This, but then I got a huge pile of really awesome mostly rock records from Brian. Super generous of him, and we'll get into that in a minute, but I'll start off with the stuff that I picked up at Rotate This. So we met up. I think he actually went to the Toronto Record Fair, the one that was downtown, earlier in the day. I skipped on that one because I just went to the Hamilton Record Fair, so I think he got a few things from there prior to meeting up. So we both kind of kept it a little bit light, I think, at Rotate This, just a few records each. I had a little bit bigger pile, but then I put a few away just because I was sort of on the fence on those ones. These ones were pretty much must buys, especially on price and what they are. So starting off with a couple of singles, surprise, surprise. Again, on the singles tip, a couple of 90s house singles, really great ones. Good label too, the Downtown 161, New York City label, known for like deep house and just classic house kind of sound, 90s style. This is the Trojan Horse Years O Pressure, featuring 69 Mercedes. This is the Trojan Horse. This is aka Romanthony, basically. US producer who's no longer with us, sadly passed on. And then this is a Romanthony as well. This is Trust. Classic Romanthony era, mid-90s stuff. I've got a couple other singles, 94, 95. This is from 95. So this will fit very nicely with the ones I already have. Now, those that don't know or may know, Romanthony was sampled or worked with Daft Punk on one of their big hits back in the 90s too, but sadly passed away. Also, Romanthony, big thing about his voice, or the voice on his productions, it sounds exactly like Prince. So if you hear some Romanthony, you might think listen to a sort of a lo-fi kind of house version of Prince. Also picked this up. Those were both like $8, and I picked this up for $6. It's a double. It's a Willie Burns single that came out in the 2010s, I think 2012, 2013. Killer stuff from Willie Burns. He's a US producer, either New York or Chicago, I'm not exactly sure. But this is on the Trilogy Tapes label. Yeah, it's a 4-tracker. They put all the tracks on the spine. But yeah, just cool house, a little bit of electronic, a little bit techno, some different fused ideas, quite repetitive, but very good single nonetheless. And like I said, I already had it, but I wanted to get a second copy for $6. I couldn't pass it up, so there's that. Now on the more rock tip, punk, if you will, pre-grunge era, Die Cruisin', great band out of Milwaukee. Still a huge fan of this group, and I still have more records to pick up by them as well. I've got about 2 or 3 so far. I've got an EP, and I've got the October release, which I think came out, is either before or after this one. This is the Century Days album. It is a gatefold record, which is not as common back in the 90s. I guess this is like 80s, late 80s and 90s. But yeah, this is on Touch and Go Records out of Chicago. Love that label. Love this band, Die Cruisin'. It's kind of like noise rock, post-punk vibes, killer stuff, and an OG copy, so that was really nice to pick up, actually. Now, next up, I got this amazing VCLT from Brian. He set aside these records. I think he was showing some records that he was getting rid of or passing on or trading a while back on video, and I was like, yep, I would definitely pick those up from you if you were passing those on. So he kept them aside, and we did a little bit of a trade. I gave him something, but nothing compared to this stack. So I gotta hit you up with some more stuff, Brian, at some point. But yeah, this was really nice of you, man. Starting off with a legendary rock band from Canada that I have been sitting on the fence forever about buying, just because I wanted to get them cheap, and this is very cheap, actually. This was free, so He gave me some Rush records. Man, I'm super stoked about this. Moving Pictures with, of course, Tom Sawyer on it, and then this mega prog atmospheric record here. Hemispheres, is it? And Gatefold as well, I guess. So, yeah, an entire side of music on here, and then other tracks. But yeah, those two Rush albums. Third Rush album, Grace Under Pressure, which I recently got about a year or so ago. I got this on CD, a nice remaster of it. So cool to have it on vinyl. Kind of more later Rush in their synth days. Still dig it a lot. This is from 1994. So I went from having 0 Rush records to having 3, just like that. So thank you again, Brian, for that. And next up, another killer record from the 80s. Sinead O'Connor's debut. I got this not too long ago on CD, and don't know if I ever had on vinyl as a kid, but after her passing, revisited some of her stuff and totally love this album. This has Mandinka on it, and Troy, and I Want Your Hands on Me, which she did a remix with MC Lyte later on. Great album, maybe her best. Now this one is one album that I'm kind of on the fence on a little bit. I'm like 50-50 with these guys, hit and miss. I'm going to give it some more listens, some more tries. This is Echo and the Bunnymen's Ocean Rain. I think it's an earlier album by them, 1984. Big band of the 80s, new wave scene. I kind of get them mixed up with Psychedelic Furs all the time. I think I would say on par, Psychedelic Furs are the better of the two. They're both from the UK. They both started late 70s, and kind of that melancholic new wave sound, but not as interesting as The Cure, let's say. So yeah, Echo and the Bunnymen. I don't know, the Killing Moon is on this. I think that is the main single maybe from that one. And this is a strange one. This one may have sparked a VCLT in a way, because I remember Brian showing this, and it was in his reject pile. I think this is something he got at Rotate This, actually, because it's sealed and new and record store day looking esque maybe, but it's totally experimental. Really cool, free jazz, experimental. It's got a list of synths that are used in here. It's the name of the album is Endless Garbage, and it's all these guys involved. So John Dwyer, Ted Burns, Greg Coates, Tom Dolis, and Brad Culkins. None of those names ring any bells with me, but maybe I have other records with those people involved and I just don't know. Something's kind of fun logo label here, and shit. But I can assure you it's not shit. It's quite good. I liked it from some listens. Kind of quiet listens, but yeah. 2021 release on Castle Face Records, and 8 tracks in total. But yeah, on the inside they do list some instruments: percussion, saxophone, stand-up bass, organ, drums, bucala, effects and tapes, Philcordia organ, a Wurlitzer, and a clavinet. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff. Last but not least, rounding out the VCLT, this is an older, early Steve Miller Band album, Circle of Love. I did not have, I don't have a lot of Steve Miller, actually. I was kind of a greatest hits guy for a long time, and Fly Like an Eagle, but I've been getting more into his earlier psychedelic stuff, and this one is really cool. I've already listened a little bit to the Macho City on side 2 anyway. Yeah, from Steve Miller Band. So again, many thanks to Brian for that VCLT. Very cool that we could meet up too, as always, and hang out, grab a coffee, chat a little bit about the status of these record fairs these days. I think I'm kind of getting tapped out on record fairs. I don't know if you guys are. Yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit tapped out on record fairs. Just kind of the same vendors over and over again, same stock it seems too. I guess I'm always on the lookout for a new vendor, a new set of stock. Even the OGs seem a little bit repetitive. I don't dig very deeply for jazz, but there isn't a lot of jazz at these record fairs anyway. So maybe, online and actual shops is the way to go these days. I don't know. But I got a heavy stack here of listening to do, so I'll see you guys soon.